yo. Hey, it's all about fair too. Hey, it seems like the technology technology us, but we are back here, Orlando Pirates transfer news and rumors show, and we have been hit with a blockbuster. We have been hit with the transfer bomber. It is official. Orlando Pirates have officially announced the new coach who will lead us into the new regime of Orlando Pirates. His name is Abdeslam Ouaddou, the new head coach of Orlando Pirates. We're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about where is he from? Where is he coming from? How did he get here? His record, his managerial career so far. And above all, guys, we do want to just get your thoughts on this here official announcement, which I will read out in due time. I am your host, KP, on the Happy People TV Orlando Pirates fan channel, and I am joined by the co-host and technical director of the channel, Mr. Coach, not looking too happy. Don't wear your heart on your sleeve like that, Mr. Coach. Be impartial. How are you doing, Chief?
I've had better days, bro. How are you doing?
I don't have had better days, me. Oh, yeah. I'm here, Mpitsu. I'm here. I think the biggest feeling that I get is the fact that this time yesterday we felt like, you know what, done deal. We're getting a different coach. I don't even feel the need to mention his name anymore. And here we are. I mean, this is coming out of nowhere. Are you not at least in the least shocked, Mr. Coach?
Hey, Fitch, I'm gutted, bro. I'm heartbroken. Shocked, not one of them. Obviously, when I first saw it, Neymar Gates, a little bit of me, Neymar Gates, but at the end of the day, I've been supporting the club for as long as I have been. This is, yeah, about Fitch. Yeah, Nzothini, Brian. But before we even go further, Coach Yakam Fitch, you can support. Welcome to the club.
Uh, you know what? I'm going to leave not too much further ado, and I'm just going to read the statement, and then I think we'll be in a more comfortable place to start with discussions. Ladies and gentlemen, you have probably seen this already today, especially if you are a die-hard Buccaneer, and here it is coming from the club website, the club, all the social medias and all. This is it. Abdeslam Ouaddou appointed head coach for Orlando Pirates. Get used to this face, Bafetu. Get used to this name. Get used to pronouncing it. Isaleno. Orlando Pirates Football Club is pleased to announce the appointment of Abdeslam Ouaddou as the new head coach. Ouaddou takes over the reins ahead of the new season, replacing the Spanish guitar at the helm following his decision to step down in order to join Al Ahly. Born in Morocco, the 46-year-old has a wealth of experience, both as a player and as a tactician. A former Morocco international, Ouaddou earned 68 caps for Morocco and enjoyed a distinguished playing career across several of the top European leagues. And yeah, his deep understanding of the game, coupled with a strong leadership profile, positions him well to lead Buccaneer, that's right, Orlando Pirates, into a new era. Coach Ouaddou, hey, say look, Coach Ouaddou. Coach Ouaddou, who is expected to arrive in South Africa towards the end of the week, will be assisted by Mandla Ngigazi and Ryan Jacobs, Helmi Gueldir, and Tyron Damons. Pre-season preparations will officially kick off the 27th of June. And as part of preparations for the upcoming campaign, Orlando Pirates will embark on their third consecutive international preseason tour to Marbella, Spain. The training camp, set to run from the 8th of July to the 20th of July, will see the team engage in high-level friendly matches, blah, 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 against Bolton, Pafos, Las Palmas, and Granada. I didn't know about those last couple of clubs that we are supposed to play against, but that's not the important part of this. Mr. Coach, just for order's sake, I just want to just say, guys, we're going to go through basically his career leading up to this point. As they said, he's 46 years old. I think he retired in the year 2013. Mr. Coach, usually I'd be asking you for validity and the likes. We don't need to do that right here, right now. I just need to hear more of your thoughts that are, how can I say? I don't want to say more balanced thoughts, but yeah, more balanced thoughts of what we're getting, impartial, without your Buccaneer heart in it, right? And then we'll go through what he has done in his career so far. Mr. Coach, I'm handing over to you.
Yeah, we'll just pull up his record there. First of all, but you're not gonna get impartial from me. As a soccer zone, next support the Pirates, and my heart is in this. There's no way I'm gonna be impartial about anything regarding the club.
Mr. Coach.
And I just wealth of experience. Bulan ideng, Prague.
I've got it over here, Mr. Coach. We have his career so far over here.
Yeah, I won't get into. Obviously, we're not going to speak about his playing career. It is irrelevant as far as I'm concerned. He retired in 2013, like you said, and then it was in July 2015 where he joined AS Nancy B in France as an assistant manager, where he stayed on for. Okay, it's a bit. Yeah, for 4 years between July 2015 and June 2019. From there, he moved on to go coach the youth team, Honakoyans, Konansi, where he stayed for a season as well. And then from then on, please scroll up for me there. From then on, he went on to coach, to be the assistant manager for Algerian national team.
Can you just clarify Nancy, because I feel like there's just this nuance. Did he spend more time as the youth coach or as the assistant manager of the first team?
According to this, he spent most of the time as the assistant manager, and then he was the youth coach for just 1 year, one season.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because they say he was assistant manager for 26 games. That doesn't kind of sound like 1 or 2 seasons. But anyway, thank you. Please carry on from the Algeria
and that's gonna be the theme. That's gonna be the theme. I must just mention before we go on, his record is confusing at best to figure out. I think many of us have become now we are scouts. Now we're all looking for information, and it's kind of difficult to find that. Anyway, and then he went on to be the assistant manager of Algeria, which actually came with a little bit of controversy. Being a Moroccan, that is their rival. He was the assistant manager for what was from February 2020 to June 2020. We can't actually tell how many managers he was coaching, how many games he managed for, but it wasn't much considering international team, and he was only there for 4 months. From there, he went to
Moluda is in, I believe, I think it's in either Morocco or DRC, one of those two.
I think it was Morocco, where I know it may say manager here, but
Moluda, actually, it's actually Morocco, 100%, yeah.
Moroccan side. I know Transfer Market has it here as manager, but I cannot find anything elsewhere that confirms manager. If anything, it seems like he may have been in an administrative slash advisory role. So he could have been maybe technical director or something along those lines. Okay, he was there from October 2020 all the way to January 2021. 4 months, and then he left from there. Loto FC, which is a TRC. Yeah, there he was the technical director, which he stayed from July 2021 up until August 2023. Although I think he only managed for 2 games, which was probably when the club went through a transitional period. And then from there, that's where it gets even more fuzzy. He was AS Vita Club from June 2024 up until September 2024. But there is only online record of him having coached 1 match. However, we do know that during that same season, he was the manager. I mean, those same 9 months, he was the manager. And he took over during the playoff period, Yago AS Vita, in which he finished 5th out of 8 teams. Do with that what you will. And then from there,
I
he
mean,
went.
I think people shouldn't be confused. The matches that you see in this column, yeah, matches, don't just take them with a pinch of salt, because we've realized that we'll see a couple of matches for other clubs, but then you'll realize he wasn't even a coach there. And then for another club, you'll see less matches than he actually did coach. So I just think it's a data collection error in terms of these leagues. So yeah, don't take that as gospel, but fit to carry on, please, Mr. Coach.
Yeah, go AS Vita, where his last match that he managed was in a CAF Confederation Club match against Stellenbosch FC, where he lost and he announced his resignation or his resignation. After the first leg, he wasn't even there to coach for the second leg. And then he again appeared as a coach, as you guys should probably know, where he coached Marumo Gallants starting from March 2025 up until June, now Haufela season. He managed them for 12 games in which he amassed 5 wins, one of them against us, 4 draws and 3 losses.
Another one against Chiefs, don't forget.
Okay, sure. Yeah, he also beat Chiefs, if you want to know that. And his tenure ended at the end of the season. If you guys recall correctly, Marumo Gallants came out to say that they could not afford him, and that's why he didn't actually even have to resign. He just went, can't remember where he was abroad, but we don't think Aloploma during the preseason, where he'll be flying from actually. Up until, as of, I'd assume his contract starts now, go Orlando Pirates. We don't know how long his contract is for, but that is the history of his career as a manager. You'll notice I didn't mention any honors that he has amassed over his career because there are none.
I beg to differ. Either that or I just didn't read properly. There's something there, Mr. Coach. There is a straw. I'm surprised that you didn't see that straw, bro. But there is a it's called I think it's a Congo Leshier Pokaleskier. I think it's an FA Cup Yago Congo that he did win with AS Vita. Seeing that he came January, I don't know when he might have won it and how involved he might have been in the winning of that trophy, but it is credited under his name. So he has...
I stand corrected.
Away. So, Buccaneer, there you have it. That is apparently who we are signing. I don't know if there's a way that we can maybe even summarize his him as a person and click. Summarize him as a person. I wonder if that's at all possible. But let me just read the comments that.
Okay, yeah, read the comments first.
Okay, sharp. So one comes from April. She says, she started by saying, "Who cares?" Thank you for being the first person to actually comment, April. She says, "Who cares?" And then I think she came back to her senses and she was like, "We are rebuilding again. Poor decision from above." Hey. And then Tautona says, "Show my chance, great show as always." Now I think the writing has always been on the wall, honestly. Worse yet, I believe Jose might have had a hand in recommending him to the team. Can't wait. Danko. And then Danko Amos making a return saying, "This coach has done well at Marumo Gallants with no big name players, and given the quality at his disposal, Pirates can only do better at Paris, and make a name for himself." Stepping stone. And please, Buccaneer, be patient. And then Daudona comes back and says, "The adventure continues. Welcome, Coach Abu." Couldn't finish his name. Abdeslam Ouaddou. You're going to need to know this person's name and surname very soon, in a way that if you don't know, then there's something wrong with you, not him. Thank God for the comment. And then Mr. Mafel Long chips in and says, "Things are always said about someone, especially if they don't have accolades to show. We can't, however, be negative about somebody who hasn't had a fair share of his games to play and show that he's dope. Okay, fair. And then the last one, Mbusi says he's a good coach and also loves playing young players. Mr. Coach, I know you're a very hard man to please. I don't know if you're swayed at all or convinced at all, or if you are at least absorbing some of this positivity. Are you absorbing any positivity? Like, I know at the end of the day, you're going to be a Mr. Becker manager. So do you just have to get over it a bit and then you're going to say back the manager? Or what's your attitude towards this?
First of all, you're very right to mention that. Before I even give my opinion, how I feel about it, I think as supporters, now that he's been appointed, our opinions don't matter as much to an extent. The most important thing, the best thing we can and should do as supporters is all of us, we need to get behind the manager and support him and give him our unconditional support until he forces us otherwise. But for now, I always say when you have a new manager for the first season, you must back him from start to finish. Again, unless he's like to lose 7 straight games, then we can start talking otherwise. But the most important thing as a supporter at this point is to get fully behind him. So that for me stands first, and then I'll also begin with the positives because there are so few as far as I'm concerned. He has a history with the youth. He's worked with them. He has done. I would assume he did pretty well. Mm-hmm. But I always like just had some time with the youth structure, especially coming to Pirates, because we do use a lot of youth players. We rely on them. They are our identity. It is how the Pirates identity. Yeah, it's the Pirates culture for us.
Philosophy.
Excel through youngsters. So that's definitely a good thing. Another good thing is the fact that Morocco Cannons played some really good football, bro. I really enjoyed watching them. I didn't watch too many games, but what I saw, I really enjoyed it. Even when we played against them, they were a very tough side to beat. And it's like everybody said, he did help them out of relegation and finishing 10th, which was, it's a worthy feat as far as Marumo are concerned. So there are those good things. And I'm afraid that is right where all the good things start. Stop.
End.
I don't know if you want to say before I start. Before I start pouring my heart out, I don't know if you want to say anything else.
Look, man. Well, it depends on what your heart has to say. And maybe I just started the poll, by the way. Sorry that I started it later. I wanted to start it right at the beginning of the stream. But let me just go through the comments and then I'll give you the current results of the poll, even though it has only been on for about a couple of seconds. And guys, 95 concurrent viewers watching at the same time. Thank you very much for being tuned in, guys. Please don't forget just to hit that like button for free of charge. This time only. Next time, get a charge. Just kidding. But anyway, Mbusi comes through and says, oh no, I already read that one. And then Martin said, as long as he doesn't play helicopter football, I'm willing to give him a chance as a coach. And then Buccaneers United, Danko, Buccaneers is saying, I don't know how I feel about this. Yeah. Jeff Mudiba also says, we can win anything with this guy. Mara, can we challenge for the league title? Got this thing. Hey, I'm disappointed. Cabo Floyd, I think, is what he's trying to say. And then Mo Legal Unchained says, we were not sure about Jose at the beginning. This time around, let us all have a positive aura and support management. Welcome on board, Coach Abdeslam. And Olani comes through and says, let's wait and see, but I'm very sure Sundowns will win the league again this season. Look, Mr. Coach, I think maybe I formulated a bit of a thought, and my thought is actually a question, so it's not really a statement. I'm just thinking, now that we have followed the plumber system as the blueprint thingy dictates, and just like this comment said, we weren't sure about Jose, but they're saying that we should this time maybe support from the beginning, but Jose didn't get the support doesn't mean he wasn't successful. Oh, it's a little bit tricky. I always knew that if you're gonna get a plumber, right? Obviously, when you get a plumber, you're gonna be confused. You're not gonna know how to pronounce. You're not gonna find the greatest record at the end of the day. But in my thoughts of having a plumber, I was like, we're gonna get somebody. If it's a plumber, then we're gonna have to give them 3 years from scratch again. So I guess that's my current thought right now. That while I'm thinking about my expectations, I must just remember that I'm gonna have to start from scratch.
Yeah. Oh, so many things come to mind. I almost don't know where to start. But I'll begin with the people who are all coming with the argument. When Jose arrived, we called him plumber, this, that, Washakwatima. And my only simple answer to that is that Jose Mfethu are win a league. Finish and club. He was all those wonderful things. He didn't win the league. And why am I saying this? Over the last 25 years, Orlando Pirates, I could be wrong by one, but over the last 25 years, Orlando Pirates has only won the league 4 times, right? Yes, I am correct. We have won the league 4 times in the last 25 years. Of those, first of all, that's unacceptable. I did not support Pirates to win the league 4 times in every 25 years. Never.
Mr. Coach.
If you asked me that question when I first chose this club, well, I didn't choose it. I was born a Buccaneer. I would have found a way to go get myself adopted elsewhere if that's what you told me 25 years ago. Okay, sharp. That's one thing. Over those 25, over those 4 league trophies we won in 25 years, 2 of them, A1. Okay, I'll say both of them, but twice it was won by Coach Ruud Krol. Ruud Krol was by no means a plumber when he arrived in the PSL. Everybody knows this. He had a track record as a player of excellence and as a manager, now coach at Ajax Amsterdam. So that was not somebody who was coming to build his CV Orlando Pirates. And the second one that we won, Ewin Nengi, Augusto Palacios, if you check the team sheet, that was basically the same team Ewin under Coach Ruud Krol. Now, if you are to check how many managers we've had in that same 25 years, you're going to count well over 10. And they cannot show me a league trophy that they can say, hey, we win the league. Now, I'm still maintaining, first of all, Orlando Pirates Football Club is a big club. See, Club Nkulu, we are the oldest of the big clubs in the PSL. And that to me is supposed to mean that we're winning the league. So, the appointment, Coach Ouaddou, and I don't blame him by any means. I'm looking at the management. I'm calling them out right now. What they have proven to me by appointing him is that the ambition to win a league is held by me as a supporter and other supporters, not by them. Because if they all
how long did that take you to figure out, Mr. Coach?
I've been crying about the plumber thing, and if you remember last night, Nagor Shapa, the Buckshead Live, I kept saying, well, the reason why I am ready to get behind Coach Rulani. And by the way, now I'm not saying that he was my number 1 candidate. I said this so many times on this channel, not that he was my number 1 candidate, but he was not a plumber. And my issue with hiring plumbers is that Nayam Bonsa ambition that club. Okay, the club is happy with picking up a couple of cups along the way and being second best. I personally am not happy with that. And the one thing about Ouaddou, okay, first of all, I'm not saying it's impossible for him to win the league. Don't get me wrong. It's happened all over the world where a coach can win it. I would call it a whim, even in this instance. It's because if nobody, I believe nobody can look me in the eye right now and say over the next 10 seasons, I expect Pirates to win most of the leagues that are available as a result of us appointing Ouaddou. I don't think anybody can say that honestly, and that is my issue. I don't want to be the top 2 team. I want Pirates to be the number 1 team in the league. Every time we have to clap for Sundowns when they win the league, it breaks my heart. And for me, in doing so, because now it's a new coach, it's a new project, like everybody says, now I must keep quiet. If the league ends, this season ends, and maybe we win the MTN AD, if we're lucky enough, or for example, let's just say the season ends and we have won nothing. I must just be like, well, he's a new coach. He's new in the PSL. He's only been here for 6 months and now he's coaching Pirates. Let him adjust. I must keep making excuses every season because we don't have a coach that I believe is capable of winning the league. Like I'm saying, I can win once, maybe even twice, but there's nobody who can say to me straight through, this is the guy that's going to topple Sundowns from the top. And the thing is, it's not like Sundowns is not improving every season. About Shebaf, they're not just chilling there waiting for us to catch up with them. They're improving every season. We can't compete with them in the market. We can't compete with them financially. And apparently, we can't compete with them when it comes to appointing coaches. So for me, it's just not on, bro. This is not on. Again, he's my coach, Kitom supporter. But I am not expecting him to be a world beater. And that is my problem. This is just, it's not good enough, bro.
Okay, Mr. Coach, it's a new regime, it's a new era. I think right now we are looking with eyes or more microscopic eyes than before. We've heard the parents and those who have been Buccaneers before us that it's a 50-50 if you are thinking about, Orlando Pirates in terms of it making the decisions that you want. It just so happens now that there's a Sundowns that will keep on asking us the tough questions season in, season out, season after season. So whose hands is it in now? Because one thing I don't believe, and which is why we are divided in this thing, is that you are saying you want to win the league, right? How is it that we got to the point where Shotaka coach fella through the plumber system is what I'm trying to say. Right now you're confident enough to say, Hore, if we get a league winning coach, this squad, the way it's looking, with that coach, is good enough to now go on to win a league, right? Because winning the league is not just the coach.
That's not what I said. If you recall, especially during my Rulani argument, because you guys asked me what am I going to expect, and I did say I will start judging my expectations on Coach Rulani after the transfer window closes, because it's not just the coach that wins the league. He also needs to be backed. Now, Rulani, the thing is, okay, this is just an example, by the way, because clearly that name means nothing here now, but it was about a coach that has a winning pedigree. And why I'm saying that it's not just about the coach, that once, if we can look at the squad and say that at the end of the transfer season, we'll know the management has acquired everybody necessary. We have all the tools we can get within our resources, because we're not going to compete Sundowns in the market, but we have all the tools necessary. If you take that and you put them in the hands of a coach that is willing or capable and proven that he can do it, I have a lot more confidence. My problem is that now, even if we are to go sign players just like Sundowns, we still don't know that the coach is the one that can do it for us. For me, it's a balance. You need both things. And then right now, the one that is very important, because again, we're not going to go buy players that have won the league before. Now we also want a coach who has never won the league as well. Who in there is supposed to make it happen?
Yeah, look, I always see some fits, and I can't give you the right answer. I think it's about uniting as a fan base as to what are we crying about. Are we going to cry about the Saling issue and blame Saling? Are we going to blame Coach Riveiro for bouncing early and even sacrificing a CAF and even a league, basically? Are we going to blame the club for appointing another plumber? Where are we going to be directing our I don't want to say anger, but our grievances? Where do we direct them to? Because now they've disarmed us. So but disarm, because you can't with the person that comes in with a reputation in Yana, you can now while out against that reputation, Wang Tol. And that reputation creates expectation. This man basically has no reputation, which means it only makes sense for us to have no expectation. So it's up to us to follow to connect the dots and to follow the money, and then have a detailed petition that is signed by the time we rip the seats out of Orlando Stadium. Let me go through a couple of the comments. Let me go through a couple of comments before you do that. Unless you're gonna lose your train of thought, you look a little bit passionate over there, dude.
It's fine, go on.
Okay. I'll just read the ones that stand out to me, or else we're gonna be here
Yeah,
for
read the
a
most.
while. Okay, Slindo Gutle says, I believe he will surprise us, and yeah, he's gonna improve us, and I love his tactics. Oh, okay, you know his tactical approach. Okay, and let's support him, and let's hope it doesn't end in tears, but they have Slindo Gutle's full support. Okay, Alain Muvala says it's an underwhelming appointment. We are in a position to compete and win a title, and he does not have a track record of winning leagues. The same with Jose. Anyway, I hope he does well. Wawan, disarmed. Anyway, guys, we need to hand over the Premiership Cup to Sundowns. Hold on, let's make it dirty first. Alicia's Mkoti says the good thing is that the technical team is still there, so we are not starting from scratch, except we lost one of the top members of our technical team, which means everybody is starting from zero, and it's about how early does Dion Hoto want to wake up for training. Anyway, Tutuzi says this is not the right move from Koza, and a word that I cannot say online. And looking at the profile of the players that he has bought, it reflects on the ambition of the team. Hence, I'm not surprised that we have of the new coach appointment. Okay, so looking at the profile that Buccaneer has bought, hey, I don't know what kind of ambition it reflects. Mr. Coach looks like he agrees. I wonder what he's agreeing to and then agreeing with. And then Dona says, what separates Riveiro from the rest is that... what separates Riveiro from the rest is what separated Macab from the rest at the time, and they both hit the ground running. Mind you, those are big shoes to fill, and they always will be in my books. And then Siandas Fundo says, I watched the video speaking about tactics. It's similar to Jose, but no experience of winning cups, nor a league. And, well, he's got one cup of it. And all of a sudden, he has to win it for Pirates. That's crazy, right? And what's crazy is that we can't expect him to. Even him is like, hold on, guys. I just got a call and I had to answer. It's Pirates. The poll has 103 votes. Thank you, everybody, for participating. Did Orlando Pirates make a good decision? There is a whopping 62% that is saying yes, that was a good decision by hiring Ndate Abdeslam. And 38%, of course, say no. The comments are still pouring in, but Mr. Coach, I need you to pour your heart out.
Again, bro, this is just evidence in favor of a lack of ambition in the club, bro. It's just poor from, apparently it's right there at the top. I want to announce from now on, based on this thing, because Jose Mfethu surprised us all. And first of all, now that's my problem. I don't want to be surprised by winning. I want to expect it. And I hate that. First of all, I'm never going to blame Ouaddou, no matter what happens. I'm not going to blame him. He would have done the best he can. I'm going to blame the person that hired him, because what told him, what was it on his CV that said, this is my guy that's going to make me take over from Sundowns? Again, my biggest cry, my biggest cry is that our ambition, or my personal ambition for the club, is to be the #1 team in SA. Unequivocally. The same way Sundowns, you win 8 back-to-back leagues. I would love for me to be, I don't have to win 8 back-to-back, but it shows how it would be nice to have a chance. And we're not setting ourselves up for that. Again, I'm going to make an example, got Jose Riveiro, because everyone wants to throw it at my face, or hey, Jose Riveiro was called the plumber, he was called this, look what he achieved. Jose Riveiro did not deliver a league title. He did very well. He brought us back to the stadium. He made us love our club, but that's not why he came. He came here to win the league, and we're still starving for the league. And my problem is that if I now look at the
Jose
next 10
really
years...
come here to win the league, bro?
If he didn't, then it's an even bigger problem with the club, bro. An even bigger problem, because it means that the league means nothing. Come fair. And if I look at the way we've been appointing coaches again for the last 25 years, apparently, actually, we don't care about the league. It's a nice to have. But as long as we pick up a cup here and there, we play Champions League football, finish second, everything is all right. And I'm sorry, I will never accept that, bro. I'll never, ever accept that.
You see, I think this is why we are fighting, but then we are fighting from different angles. You think appointing somebody with a league pedigree translates into ambition. I feel like even if we had gotten Rolani, we would have stumbled upon him. So I think Fede, we both are disappointed at the fact that we do not show sufficient ambition. Let me just show his face again so people can get used to it. We do not show sufficient ambition in terms of winning the league / usurping Sundowns in the league. So I feel like where I saw her passion ambition shorter is when we had a good thing going with Jose, and I don't know how much money it was. Thing is, he was a plumber. So now a plumber is always going to have a better club to go to, especially if he came to you as a plumber. So I'm just thinking next time a Jose comes, what if this man goes on a good 3-year run himself, and then Jiggy, he wants to go somewhere else because he used us as a stepping stone and he did well. And just before we win the league with him, Wavaya. So that's the part where I feel like I've seen enough.
Please stop there.
Okay. Yeah. I'm listening.
Just one note. Sorry, it's part of what you're saying. You'll go on. This coach in fact also played more than 9 months anyway. What does that mean? Does that make you feel like he's going to be here in 3 years? What is there to make you believe that this is somebody that we can? Are we not trying to build something that's going to have foundations?
No. I'm making an example, not to say a plumber will always come without a CV, and if he does well, it's always going to take time, and that crossroad will always exist if we keep on having this attitude of you came here as nobody. This is the salary we are giving you. If you want more somewhere, because now you have grown a following, you can go. Nobody's bigger than the club. That I feel like is a decision that's easier to turn around or turn away from, rather than changing your whole philosophy. Because I feel like it's that trauma of having to start over, knowing that you were on the brink. The last time we started over with Jose, I didn't feel like we were on the cusp of anything, and I didn't feel like we were destroying anything that's dope that's going on. Even though a lot of the people who are commenting think that no, assistant, youth, they think he will do well, but I'm pretty sure 90% of coaches in the world have worked with youth and have been assistant managers in certain places. So I don't think that says, okay, definitely he works well with youth. And yeah, dude, he's going to have his first long-term tenure at a club with us. Oh my goodness, Mr. Coach.
Yeah, I'm saying,
Mr. Coach, no.
I'm saying, let's just say everything goes well and he proves me wrong. I pray to God he does. He proves me wrong, and at the end of the season, we are league champions. We're going to be here very soon. Very soon again, we'll be here again, and we're going to speculate about Peter, we're going to speculate about whoever's the next best coach in SA, but we're going to get a plumber again. We're not building for the future.
We're currently taking the bricks down and getting the TLBs. So I think we got a TLB in order to come to anyway, bro. Let me get some comments in. 171 people watching, definitely the most. That is not a watch along. Yo, guys, thank you very much. If you are new, please don't forget to hit the subscribe and then hit that bell that's at the top of the bells. Like one of you. Thank you very much. Okay, let me just see the first comment. Yeah, Tango. Patrick. Pirates do have problems behind the scenes, and on the other hand is players. There are many Salings, Marcos, Munyanes, Lepasas that I don't see them competing in Betway or CAF with those kinds of players coming in and out of the club. Bafana are a good decision. He'll stick to our way of playing and the institution, and he will stick to our way of playing and how the institution is being ran. Thank you very much. You are saying, yes, he's going to be a very good yes man. Dango. Okay, Moses, I can't pronounce your name that quick. Moses Are, the coach has beaten Orlando Pirates 2-0 with Marumo Gallants. Let's give him a chance. Rain work. To be honest, it doesn't make sense. Similar to the Jose appointment, but I guess he will prove us wrong. Doesn't make sense, but I guess we're gonna be proved wrong. Okay, sure. And then Lungelo, Danko Lungelo, he says management has no ambitions of winning the league. Who is better that we have? That they have bought for this coach, and we can't even blame him if he doesn't get to 50 points. How better? 50 points. Come on, I'll let 50. And then Kwati says another plumber brought in to try to win cups. Orlando Pirates will never win the league with the strategy. Anyway, it's none of my business. Aish. Tutuzi says it doesn't matter that he beat Pirates 2-0. We need a coach with a winning mentality and clean football. And I still say Rolani, period. Well, Kwati said it best. It's none of our business. Doesn't matter what we say. Orlando Pirates will appoint who Orlando Pirates wants to appoint. And first requirement for now, Mr. Coach. I think let's end it off like that. The requirement. Not top of my requirements. Make it exciting for me to go to the stadium or do a watch along or watch the game. Make it exciting. Our best players must do their best. I don't want to motor our fella just because of the coach. My second requirement is definitely second place with at least 65 points. And my third requirement is 1 cup. Mr. Coach, what are your requirements?
Doesn't matter what my requirements is because I have to back him for a season even if he fails to get those requirements. But you about La Liga, KP. I about La Liga, dog. I don't want nothing else. I want the damn league, bro. And I can't say for sure that's going to deliver me the league. So what does it matter anymore? What I want?
What are you willing to accept? Okay. Why are you not saying Ouaddou out now?
That's a fault there, mfethu. When about to fit on feet, appointile. I cannot send them appointing. Let him do his job. Like I said, now I'm a supporter of the club. I'm gonna back him, bro. He's my coach now. I'm saying all of this. But you must know that if I have to, I'll scream his name and chant his name. And if I run into him on public, I'll take a picture and say, great to see you. He's my coach. I have to back him. He represents my club. So it's not. I don't have an issue with him. My issue is now directly with management.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what are your requirements for management? Now that they've got
to sort themselves out, man. Like
for this season,
what, bro?
For this season.
You know what, KP? I ask one thing of management. About a press conference about cheaper Bafetu, as Pirates, as Orlando Pirates, our ambitions are to make Champions League football and win silverware at least once every season. Then I'll accept it. It'll be my fault for wanting the league and not theirs. How about put us straight there?
Mr. Coach, the emotions are high. This is the Buccaneer brief. We're just supposed to give the headline. Obviously, this means we need another emergency stream later today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Please, let's carry on this conversation in the comments, and then we'll just take those comments to the next stream, guys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It seems like every Buccaneer and his mother right now is finding out the news and probably asking, oh, coach, oh, KP, who is who coach Mang? These are difficult times, trying times. You either have to either be pissed. If you've been following this whole thing, let me just say, if you've been following this whole thing, it's either you're going to be angry and pissed, or you're going to lie to yourself and say, let's hope for the best. But I'm pretty sure nobody is jumping. Nobody saw the news this morning, opened their phone and started jumping on their bed and even calling sick at work. Nobody. And those who did are most probably liars. But anyway.
But now KP, from here going forth, it's time for us to go find our nearest copium dealer and just keep drinking it up for a whole season.
Well, I know a guy. Anyway, bro, we have reached the end now. Still 180 people watching. Hate to leave them. Hello, 180 about I'm sure how half your thing like it's with 37 likes so far, but we just appreciate this conversation happening in the first place. The last batch of comments before we wrap it up. Have your statement ready, Mr. Coach. Yeah, bro. And then I think from the last one, we have Porsche, Orlando Pirates chairman. He doesn't care for the club. He only sees it as a business. And for that, we are hurt. Ohlulani, Archibald, I like that one. He will deliver. His calmness and knowledge of the game will make him succeed. Yeah, plus he's a defender. By the way, he's a defender, guys. Dautona been with the stream from the beginning. Danko Arno Bafitu, we should be talking player management capabilities first. Let's ask ourselves first, how is it going to deal with the egos in the change room? Ish.
Not only ego himself, by the way. If you guys just take a second to go check online how more violent thing. Nowhere at all. It's always slammed door fights with the Algerian FA, where's Vita, Hatwaka Smiley, how he left Marumo Kellens. Apparently Marumo Kellens
stayed anyway more than 10 months outside of the people who gave him his badges.
Last week, Komarumo, apparently they told him that they can't afford him and he didn't bother to resign. He just left and they asked him what happened to it. It's like, so I didn't see the need to even sign a resignation letter. And for me,
that's silly.
KP, lame Bombay.
Thanks. You're reminding me.
No.
Like South Africa.
No, that's not right.
Isn't this
That's not right.
Bombay.
That's not right. No, but
okay, let me finish these comments. Oh wait, questioning the same club that brought in Jose. You people have a short-term memory. That's from Vugile. Dautona says, Coach, you're asking too much now. Pirates does not do press conferences in Fetu. Especially Tetani tells all. Porsche says, we want the league, brah. We need CAF champions. We are hungry. And we are angry now with this decision. That's real anger. And then Umandisi says, the kind of players we bought can assist us to compete with Sundowns. Hence, the new coach does not, can't assist us. Thank you, KP, for reading that properly. Can't assist us to compete with Sundowns. Hence, the new coach does not surprise me. We will forever be number 2 with this kind of coach. And then I think it's Telumusa says, congratulations to Kawayelo in advance. Another one in the bag. Oh, the banter is coming for us. Mr. Coach. Mr. Coach, final statement. By the way, 188 votes in, and we are going down to a 50-50. 54% of people think it's a good decision. 46% think it isn't. I wonder what that number is going to be later today when we do an emergency stream. Mr. Coach, I'm fair too.
Yeah, I'm fair too. I believe that the club has made it clear. Best of the rest is good enough. So I guess we might as well just hand over the league to Sundowns now and start preparing for Carling Cup and MTN8 and Nedbank.
I still want your list of expectations and requirements. Bafethu, thank you very much for joining this year breaking news stream. Abdeslam, okay? Abdeslam Ouaddou is the new head coach, with assistant Mandla Ngigazi next to him.
Oh, one more thing, KP, sorry. Bafethu, as much as now I'm not convinced, all of this stuff must put us out of the stadium. Go stadium when we cheer for the game, for the team from start to finish. We'll fight with management afterwards. Thank you.
Well said, Mr. Coach. I can't think of any other way that won't senior it. Before you guys get off of the video, just check there if you haven't liked it. Hit the subscribe, notify. yourself every time a video comes out, like today evening. And share Buccaneer, and let's keep growing this community. Road to 3K subscribers. Danko Bafetu, Danko. Danko, we are still live, Mr. Coach.